Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, my friends. If you're like me and you're fiending for anything on Street Fighter 6 at all, well, I got some good news for you. We have some new footage here. Not a lot, but it explains some of the concepts going forward and just like the basic verses, and it also recontextualizes some of the things that we've seen before. So, well, let's get into it. So what you're seeing right here is directly after character select. You pick your two characters and then you go right into the fight. And now our next little setup here, we're in the club, I guess, right? There's a bunch of Mad Gear people around and your fighters are coming in. This is effectively a loading screen, and a very clever one at that. So showcases the characters, also lets you know their info in like a Terminator style showing up on the screen. You can see Luke hates horror games. And as for Ryu, well, obviously you need to know his stats, his height, weights, but you also need to know his hates, and he hates spiders. From there, basically we got a nice little side-by-side, just a big emblazoned verses, as you're about to see. And this is hiding the load time effectively, and it's a very beautiful way to do it. From there, you get your classic side-by-side of the characters' faces, and you can see here, we're making some goofy faces. You actually get to choose your expression for your character going into the fight, and you can change it on the fly. Very reminiscent of Soul Calibur, actually, where you can just smash and people go like, yeah, like that kind of weird noises. And then, well, we're directly into the fight. Now, this is all cool. This is new info, but once again here, let's talk about it. It recontextualizes some stuff. So the opening bit of Ryu and Luke walking around, while it certainly looks cool, we've seen exactly this before in the original trailer, except it's Luke and Jamie walking around. So if we thought that was like some sort of story mode bit or whatever, no, this is the versus menu. This is what happens. You pick your two characters, and whoever two characters you pick are making like various emotes, different for everyone. Jamie's a lot more energetic than Ryu, as you can see, right? But effectively, this is everyone's pre-fight intro. That big verse is also straight from the original trailer. Here we have Luke and Ryu, but if we go to the original trailer, it's Chun-Li and Ryu. And now here's another thing. This whole thing is dependent on which stage you're on. Luke and Ryu are clearly on the Mad Gear Metro City stage, and it loads in directly that, but Chun-Li and Ryu are not. They are very visibly on a different stage, and in fact, we know exactly which stage it is. And it's on the only other stage we know about. So every stage will have its own little pre-fight hype intro deal. Maybe people have different animations as well, I don't know. But every stage will have its own thing to work with, its own unique flavor before the fight begins. And that's, well, very interesting to know. And there's even more to be learned. On this exact screen here where you can make the silly faces at each other, we can see here in the corners that there's something that says advantage and C. Now, C is actually very easy to figure out, as that means classic controls. So you're playing by the default classic Street Fighter way to play, 6 buttons, all that. So there's C and M being modern controls, the easier, simple inputs. So you do get to see what style of control your enemy is playing against, if they're on modern control or classic controls. And just to head it off at the pass, in case you're not aware, the modern controls, easier controls, they're not a big deal. You don't get to choose between punches and kicks. You don't get to choose special move strengths. Like if you're looking to play dead serious, classic is the only way to do it. That said, we also see the words advantage. Now, we got nothing here, so I can only speculate, but I'm assuming advantage is exactly that. If you know you're better than the other player, you can let them pump up their advantage and they'll have like XYZ bonus over you, maybe more damage or whatever. So it's just a way to help, you know, cover a skill gap if one exists. I'm assuming that's what advantage means. I'm also assuming both players would have to agree to it. So not groundbreaking news to be sure, right? But it is nice to know news. The just plain old character select versus into fight is certainly a lot more lively than it's ever been before. They're definitely taking this stuff very seriously in terms of the stylistic choices. Now, what could be groundbreaking news, though, is there's a Capcom Showcase coming up. June the 13th, 3 p.m. Pacific, which would be 6 p.m. Eastern, and they'll be showcasing and going very in-depth by their own Twitter on previously announced Capcom titles. So expect the Resident Evil 4 remake, expect whatever for the new Monster Hunter. But also expect more Street Fighter 6 news, and I know that's what we all want right now. So this little tidbit is great, and hopefully we get another big info dump here at this Capcom Showcase. And naturally, don't worry, whatever's at this event for Street Fighter, I will be covering it in full on the channel, so you can just come here and get what you need to know and all the breakdowns. And we will also be watching along with it live on the rooflemonger Twitch if you want to catch it as it's happening. So what we got here is great. Just, man, everything about Street Fighter 6 seems like a home run, man. I'm so excited. Like, oh, I'm hype. I can't really put it any other way. I just need to devour this game right now. And I'm sure a lot of you people are feeling the same way, so don't make me feel left out. Post how hype you are in the comments below, because don't make me feel like I'm a weird loner, because this game is going to probably dominate my life when it comes out. I can't wait. So make sure to tune in to the Capcom Showcase as it happens, and if you can't catch it, it'll be covered here on full in the channel. And whenever there is any tidbits of Street Fighter 6 to devour, don't you worry, we'll be covering it on the channel. Till then, well, we're at the end of the video, so thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Street Fighter.